my name is Brooklyn Scheinman.
My name is Alex Barton.
My name is Chad Bowling.
I'm Luke Patterson.
My name is Sam Neerling.
My name is Callie Ziegler.
My name is Ben Hartong.
My name is Olivia Weddle.
Nate Bissinger.
My name is Hannah Lindsay Wilder.
What was your favorite city of the trip and why?
My favorite city was probably Milan or Rome, just because of the warm temperatures, and it was really pretty.
Well, I loved Paris, but I also loved Milan just for the food and the culture of both places.
It would have to be either Florence or Rome. I think I like Florence just because of the authenticity of it. It seemed very real, and I loved being able to walk the streets of Florence and just experience a different culture than my own.
My favorite city was Florence. I've been to Florence once before, and I loved it. I was there with one of my best friends, and I feel like it's a very beautiful place, but it doesn't feel quite as crowded and touristy as maybe like Rome and sort of those other big places we went to.
Probably Paris. I just felt so drawn to it. I thought it was just a lovely environment. I feel like it's kind of like rough on the outside, but once you like break through the like hoity-toity shell, then I don't know. It's like really charming, and I loved just everything about it. So
Probably Florence. I know that's probably a popular answer. Mostly because it's so beautiful. Both the architecture is beautiful, and also there's so much greenery there. The gardens are beautiful, and everything is just so lush. Yeah, I would say Florence is probably my favorite, followed very closely by London. I feel like there's a lot more that I'd like to explore in London. Kind of feel like I don't want to say I've tapped the potential of Florence, but I feel like I get what Florence is about, but I feel like London is so vast, and there's still so much that I want to see and do there that I'd be really excited to go back to London at some point. Florence,
because I got to go shopping in a lot of stores that I could not afford anything in, and I got to set a budget on myself to buy something that was $200 or under, and I did not find something that was $200 or under because even the belts were more expensive than that.
Overall was Rome. I loved just the architecture there, along with the last day going to like the beach and the food there, and the shopping was just like beautiful and incredible.
yeah. What was your favorite moment of the trip and why?
I like wandering. I think that the architecture just like everywhere was so cool, and I think it's kind of crazy that like people in Europe just casually live by like the most beautiful buildings in the entire world. Like it's just there.
My favorite moment, I would have to say, honestly, I liked some of the guided tours that we did a lot. I really like learning about historical things, and so having these people that lived there and actually knew what they were talking about, as opposed to us just trying to figure out what everything meant and was.
There were lots of favorite moments, but one of mine was when we didn't have anything to do on our last day, and we went outside of Rome a little bit to the city. I forget the name, it's sort of the no, but we found a beach to go to, and we got to go in the water, and it was just like so fun. I felt like a kid again.
My favorite moment of the trip was probably when me and a small group of people, we broke off from the big group and we went and found this really cute French cafe, and we tried croque madams, which were really, really good sandwiches with egg. And the latte was so good, and the food was so good, and the cafe was so cute. And that was the moment of the trip that I felt like, wow, like I'm actually in Europe, and like it clicked, and it was so good.
I loved as much as the long bus rides were annoying and a pain at sometimes, the time, whenever you're forced to be with people for a long period of time without anything to do, I always find that to be like amazing bonding experiences, because you have to just figure out how to spend time with other people and entertain yourselves. And so I, had a lot of fun on the bus rides, just like playing car games, and that was one of my favorite social things I think that happened.
How did the people involved affect your experience in a positive way?
I think it was really fun because, I got to connect more with people that I already knew, like you and Gavin and some other people, and then I also got to meet people I didn't really know. And it was really fun to meet new people, and to especially meet them in like that kind of environment where you're not like in a familiar area and you're instead across the world. And, yeah.
I feel like the trip I got closer to a lot of people that I was kind of friends with, and I got to build those friendships more and got to get to know them better, and it was really fun.
The students that we brought just make it all so much better. Like, you really don't have to worry about people being stupid or doing something they shouldn't be doing. It's just making sure everybody is like safe and happy and healthy, and it's just makes being a chaperone so much easier.
Most of the people I went on this trip with, I have been best friends with since sophomore year. So it was really cool to go through this whole experience with all of them and being able to like grow and get excited for this trip with them through these past 2 years, and then finally being able to like do it with all of my best friends my senior year was like, this sounds cliche, but it was like a dream come true.
I really loved all the chaperones. I got to spend a lot of time with some of the ones that I didn't know as well, and I loved spending time with Chad and Nate and people I did know also. And being on a trip with some of your best friends is just kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience that this group of people will never travel to Europe all together again. And I just consider myself super lucky that I was able to go on this trip and have it be one of the most impactful experiences of my whole life. What was the best part of the trip for you?
I think the best part is seeing so many different like kind of cultures in a way, and like different areas, because like the UK versus France versus Italy, they're all very different, and getting to see the difference like in architecture and a bunch of different like historical places which I've seen online and I've heard a lot about but not actually seen in person, like Big Ben, Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, other places like that, and it's just really cool to see those places.
I think the opera dinner was one of the best.
Yeah, that was so cool.
I think just that whole last day in Rome, it was amazing.
I really liked any location we were that we got to see an aerial view of a city. So there were two places in Italy that we went. There was one in Florence. We went to one of the basilicas, and then we just got this beautiful, beautiful landscape view of the city, in addition to being able to visit this church, which that was really eye-opening. And then another thing we got to do was climb the Duomo in the city of Milan. And then once we climbed, this giant cathedral, we got to see, pretty much the entire city of Milan, from way up high. So that was pretty cool.
First of all, I loved taking pictures and videos and like preparing things to make this documentary. And I think I took the most pictures when we were in Versailles, because the gardens were just some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my whole life. Perfectly manicured, beautiful flora, and I was just like captivated by the beauty, and I'm so glad that I had my camera to document them, and I had some very talented models to model for my camera as well.
The best thing was the Eiffel Tower, 100%. Because we weren't 100% sure that we were going to like actually see it in person that day, so being able to go at night when it wasn't raining, even though it was like pretty much the whole day, and like going to see it when it was lit up, and like taking pictures and just being like in awe of something that like we've seen for so long but never seen in person. And like even though we didn't get to see it sparkle like while we were there, being able to see it sparkle on the bus was just so cool.
Going to the beach was very special to me as well. this is really personal, but I had like a really like very personal connection to that moment in particular, because when I was in high school, I did almost the exact same trip with my family, and we did it my one of my last years of high school, and it was right before when we came back from that trip. My dad was diagnosed with cancer, and then very quickly after that, things spiraled the way that they do, and so that trip kind of lives in my brain as a very special but also bittersweet moment in my young adulthood, because it was like the end of my innocence in a way. And at the end of that trip, we wanted to go to the beach. He wanted to see the Mediterranean Ocean or the Mediterranean Sea, and so we got on a train and we rode to also in Rome, same exact type of thing. We ended our trip, but it rained the whole day, and so we didn't get to go to the beach. We didn't get to do the thing, and so that's always been kind of like a sad memory that didn't end up happening with him and for him at the end of that trip. And so getting to kind of almost complete that cycle and getting to spend the last day at the beach on such a beautiful day with all of these young people was very, very special to me, because it really felt like one of those full circle moments. And I know my dad was there with me on that day, so that was really, really special to me.
Is there anything you want to share about your experience, like looking back on it?
It definitely taught me a lot about myself and how I do independently, like going to new places, and how airports kind of stress me out. But also how beautiful like traveling and facing your fears are, because it's never too late to experience the world.
It gave me the chance to talk to a lot of people that I never would have approached before, and that was really fun. And yeah, I got to meet a lot of new people, and they were nice, and I got to see so many cool places.
To try not to spend too much time and energy focusing on the things that don't go according to plan, and to remember that being someplace that's not your home, especially with people that you care about, and getting to share those experiences with people is such a privilege that not everybody gets in their lifetime. And so I would just say that I know we spent a lot of time talking about what went wrong and how it could have been better, and all of those are important conversations. But at the end of the day, I think the things that matter are all the things that went right, and all of the opportunities that we had, and all the amazing experience that we did have.
One thing that Joey and I talked about towards the end with the other chaperones also was that being able to take students on something like this is so rewarding. It is the epitome of why people go into education and become teachers. So to show people the Eiffel Tower and stuff, and have them be able to give them those moments was incredible, and just makes me want to do something like this on a regular basis, so that we can continue to do that.
This trip, truly was an experience of a lifetime. We did it with a great group of people. I can't imagine having really any negative takeaways from a trip where we got to go to as many cities as we got to go to, and see as many things as we got to go to. We went, if you include the Vatican, we went to 4 different countries, so that's an experience that not many people get to say that they did, especially in high school. So yeah, it was really, really special. It's definitely something I'll remember for a long time.
Looking back on my experience, I'm just incredibly grateful that I was able to go on this trip with these people, with these chaperones, and just have an experience that even if some of the people that I'm friends with now, we drift in the future, we're always going to remember this. We're going to be telling this story when I have grandkids. So I'm just super thankful that I was able to take this incredible opportunity and make this wonderful project to go along with it.